The first time I saw her, she was running. Branches whipped at her face as she tore through the undergrowth, boots slamming against the mossy ground, breath shaking as if she'd been sprinting for miles. Even from a distance, I could smell the fear radiating off her. I kept my distance, not wanting to frighten her more, but it was impossible not to notice the glowing wound on her arm. A bite.
Fresh. Deep.
And definitely not human. The forest of Velstrom, 9 had a way of exposing a person's truth. Some planets show you deserts, oceans, cities. Velstrom, 9 shows you fear. And she was drowning in it. I stepped out from behind the bark of a massive obsidian tree and spoke softly. Stop running. You're losing blood. She gasped and stumbled backward. Her eyes widened, fixing on my silhouette, on the luminescent markings across my skin, on the slight shimmer of my cloak. To her, I probably looked like the very thing she was running from. I lifted my hand slowly. I'm not here to hurt you. But she didn't believe me, not yet. She turned and bolted deeper into the forest. And I followed, because the creature that bit her, it always comes back. Beginning, the forest that hides and hunts. Her name, I learned later, was Leora Vance, an off-world researcher assigned to study Velstrom 9's bioluminescent ecosystem. She shouldn't have come alone. No human should. The forest here is older than memory. Its roots breathe. Its shadows listen. And its predators don't kill for hunger, only curiosity. I had lived here all my life. I knew its patterns, its cycles, its dangers. And I knew the creature chasing her, the night maw, would never let her escape. After tracking her for a few minutes, I found her slumped against a crystalline boulder, clutching her arm. The glowing bite was spreading. Dark veins pulsed outward, crawling toward her shoulder. You need to let me fix that, I said gently. She flinched when she saw me again. You're one of them. One of who? The forest spirits, she whispered. The ones travelers talk about. The ones who glow. I almost smiled. Humans loved their myths. I'm not a spirit. I'm an Arken. And if you don't let me help you, that bite will reach your heart in 20 minutes. She stared at the mark. It was already turning her skin translucent. How do I know you're not doing this? She whispered. Because if I wanted you dead, I said calmly, I would have let the forest do it. Her breath caught. I crouched slowly beside her and pulled out a small vial of shimmering silver. The antidote. This will stop the spread. Please. She hesitated, trembling, then finally nodded. I applied the antidote, watching the veins slowly retract. Relief washed over her face like a sunrise breaking through storms. Thank you, she whispered. But the forest around us growled. The night maw had found her scent again. We need to move, I said, grabbing her hand. This time she didn't pull away. Middle. The hunter in the shadows, we ran through the glowing ferns and whispering vines, heading toward the protective cliffs. Leora struggled to keep up. Humans were fast, but not compared to an Arken, and definitely not the night maw. What is that thing? She panted. A failed experiment, I answered. Humans created it decades ago. It escaped. Now it hunts anything warm. Her eyes widened with guilt. So we caused this? Not you, I said. But your people did. Before she could respond, a blood-chilling howl shook the forest. The trees themselves seemed to shudder. It was close. I pulled Leora into a hollow beneath a massive root system. We crouched together, breaths shallow, as the night maw's silhouette passed overhead, twisted limbs, spines like jagged moonlight, and eyes that glowed with predatory hunger. Leora pressed closer to me instinctively, fear radiating off her like heat. Her voice trembled. It's hunting me because I entered its territory? No, I whispered. It's hunting you because it remembers humans. She swallowed hard. I wish I'd never come here. You came seeking knowledge. That's not a sin. But I could have died. You still can, I said honestly, unless you trust me. Her gaze met mine, fear, doubt, and something softer flickering beneath. I do? I think, she whispered. You saved my life. For now. Suddenly, the root canopy burst apart as the nightmaw's claws ripped through from above. I pushed Leora aside as the beast lunged. The battle was violent and fast. The nightmaw was 3 times my size, all bone and muscle and rage. I dodged its jaws, spun, and drove my luminescent blade into its shoulder. It shrieked and knocked me back, sending me crashing into a tree. I tasted blood. It charged again, straight toward Leora. No, I roared. Something ancient inside me ignited. My markings flared brighter than they ever had. I slammed into the nightmaw with a force that cracked the ground beneath us. Blow after blow, slash after slash, until the creature finally collapsed, breathing its last. The forest fell silent. Leora stared at me as if seeing me for the first time, not as a threat, but as a shield. You risked your life for me, she whispered. I told you, I said, breathing hard. I'm not here to hurt you. She stepped closer. I was wrong about you. Her hand, small, trembling, reached for mine. I'm glad you followed me. The truth, why I was really there once I ensured the nightmaw was dead, I guided Leora to a quiet glade where bioluminescent petals floated in the air like drifting stars.
Sit, I said.
You need rest. She obeyed, watching the glowing flora with awe. It's beautiful here, she whispered. I know. Her eyes softened. Do you live alone in this forest? Yes.
Why?
I hesitated. Because I didn't choose isolation. It was given to me. Humans came to this planet years ago, I said slowly. They wanted resources. They killed many of my people. Her face fell with guilt. I'm so sorry, but you're not like them, I said. You came to study, not conquer. She looked away. Still, you had every reason to hate me. Yet I saved you. She nodded slowly. Why? Because not all humans are the same. She looked up, meeting my eyes. And because of you, she whispered. I swallowed. Yes. Her cheeks turned faintly pink. Then she asked the question I'd been dreading. Why were you following me before I got attacked? I exhaled. I felt your presence the moment you entered the forest. Humans are loud.
Bright. Alive.
And I was curious. She blinked. Curious? You were humming, I said softly. Most humans who enter this forest come with fear. You came with wonder. She froze. And I wanted to see why. Her lips parted slightly. I thought you were stalking me. I was watching you, I admitted. But only because you were beautiful in a way I didn't understand. She stared, stunned. Beautiful? I don't know the human word for it, I continued. But your presence felt like sunlight. And I have not felt sunlight in a long time. Her breath shook. Arken, do you even realize what you're saying? Yes, I said softly. Do you? Ending. The choice we both had to make. By the time we reached the cliff safe zone overlooking the radiant valley, night had fully settled. Leora sat beside me, legs dangling over the edge, the alien sky glittering above. Will I ever see you again? She asked quietly. It's dangerous, I replied. For both of us. She nodded, but her eyes refused to accept it. I don't want this to be the last time. You barely knew me, I whispered. I know enough, she said. You saved me.
You protected me.
And you saw something in me no one else ever has. I froze. She continued, voice trembling. I don't want to leave this planet thinking I ran from someone who cared. Leora, she reached for my hand, and this time I let her. You said I felt like sunlight to you, she whispered. Well, you feel like safety to me. My chest tightened. I had lived half my life like a ghost. Alone.
Feared.
Hunted. The forest was my home, but also my prison. And now this human, small, fragile, brave, was offering me something I never expected. Connection. What happens now? She asked softly. I exhaled. You have two choices, I said. You can return to your ship, forget me, and be safe. And the other? She whispered, barely breathing. You can come back, I said. Not as a trespasser, but as someone I trust. Someone I would protect. She stared into my glowing eyes and smiled. I'll come back, she whispered. Not because I'm curious, but because I want to see you again. I felt something warm in my chest, something I didn't have a name for. Then I'll be waiting. We sat together until dawn, the human researcher and the glowing guardian of the forest, two souls who should never have met, yet couldn't forget each other. And when the light finally broke through the trees, Leora whispered, I feared you, but now I think I was meant to find you. I looked at her softly. You weren't meant to fear me, I said. You were meant to understand me. And she smiled, some light in her eyes. I'll return, she promised. And I knew she would, because fate doesn't make mistakes. Not in this forest. Not with us.